Greg, and this is Al, and today we're going to take you through a great beginner's routine.
It starts with 15 minutes of breathing to centre and prepare yourself, then some core standing poses to stretch and strengthen the body.
Then to the floor for some poses that will bring you more self-awareness, ending our session in a deep relaxation.
At all times, acknowledge what your body is feeling, always seeking to understand the pose.
And remember, this routine will help you develop and understand your yoga practice, but there is no substitute for a good yoga instructor, so seek one out.
So let's get to it and enjoy yourselves.
Breathing. Sit in a simple cross-legged position on the floor. If you don't feel comfortable in this position, place a folded blanket under your buttocks. The vital thing is to have a comfortable erect spine, with head, shoulders and hips in a straight line. Don't let your head come forward. If the back is hunched, this compresses the rib cage and impedes proper breathing, so focus on extension of the spine. Place your right hand on the rib cage and your left hand on your abdomen. Inhale slowly through the nose, feeling the breath fill the abdomen, bringing it slowly into the rib cage, then the upper chest. Retain the air here for a few seconds. Exhaling softly, feeling the breath leave the abdomen first, then the ribs, and lastly the upper chest. Observe the space at the end of the exhale. Inhale through the nose to your lower abdomen, then to the middle ribs, lastly into the upper chest. Exhaling through the nose, feel the breath fall out of the abdomen first, following it up the body to the upper chest. Now move your hands so that your forearms come to a comfortable position, resting on your knees, and continue the breathing. Inhale a vitalizing breath to the ribs and upper chest. Exhale from the abdomen, ribs, then upper chest. Observe the space. Inhale to the abdomen, ribs, and upper chest, holding for a few seconds while the oxygen sends energy to all parts of the body. Exhale from the abdomen, ribs, then upper chest. Observe the space. Inhale. Exhale. Now continue with a flowing, controlled breath in your own time. Control of the breath is an essential element in the art of yoga. When bringing the air into the abdomen, do not puff the stomach out, but pull the air into it while extending the inside wall. The simple act of learning to control the breath has a number of beneficial effects on your well-being, ranging from increasing your energy to improved relaxation into sleep. It purifies the body by flushing away the gaseous byproducts of metabolism, and will also help you to remain calm in the face of challenges that we encounter in our everyday lives. By harnessing the power of the breath, the mind can be stilled and can be prepared for your yoga practice. Now come slowly to a kneeling position. Come into a position on your hands and your knees, with your knees together and your feet slightly wider than hip width apart, your big and little toes pressing firmly into the floor. Push back with your hands and sit between your buttocks on the floor. Make sure you roll your calf muscles outwards so you're not sitting on them. If you're unable to sit comfortably or feel any pain in the knees, place a folded blanket under your buttocks. Eventually you'll be able to sit on the floor between your feet. Proceed slowly with patience and persistence. Make sure the inner calves are touching the outer thighs and your ankles are outside your buttocks, arms resting at the sides. Inhale as you slowly raise your arms to shoulder height, shoulders down. Exhale, lengthen out through the fingertips and turn your palms to the roof. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead, interlock the fingers. Slowly exhaling, turn the palms towards the ceiling and with a powerful push lift up from the belly into your chest. Inhale and stretch upwards through the arms in the direction they are pointing. Exhale, bring your hands interlocking behind your back with straight arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together and opening the chest. Inhale, hands back to the side. Exhale, relax. On your next inhalation, raise your arms to shoulder height, shoulders down. Exhale, lengthening out through the fingertips and turn your palms to the roof. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead, interlace the fingers with the opposite thumb on top this time. Exhale, turn the palms up and feel the powerful push lifting out from the belly into your chest and shoulders. Inhale as you lengthen and stretch upwards throughout the arms in the direction they are pointing. Exhale, bring your hands interlocking behind your back with straight arms. Inhale, hands back to the side. We will now repeat one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the focus on the breath, synchronizing each movement with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. If your arms are slightly forward, stretch in that direction. Inhale. Exhale, being careful not to roll the shoulders forward. Inhale, arms back to the sides. Exhale, relax. Child's pose. Bring your big toes together and your knees wide apart. Inhale as you lift the spine and extend your stomach. Exhale, bend forward from the hips as you walk your hands out as far in front of you as possible, extending from the hips to the fingertips. Place your forehead on the ground and buttocks back to the heels. Work your pubis to the floor and stretch the inner thigh muscles. Focus on the breath, breathing into the abdomen as you extend it forward into the breastbone, creating length through the upper body. Exhale from deep in the abdomen, relaxing in the spine, and continue the slow, controlled breathing. This pose will get easier every time you work with it as it rejuvenates and quietens the mind. Continue with your slow, smooth breathing as you stretch the inner thigh muscles. Come into child's pose if you feel you need a rest at any stage during this practice. Then resume when you feel rejuvenated. Dog pose. Holding your hand position, come up onto your hands and knees with your knees hip width apart and the hands shoulder width apart, your fingers wide, pressing firmly into the floor. Inhale, arch your spine and look up as you turn your toes under. As you exhale, straighten your legs and pause here for a moment. Now push the floor away from your hands, positioning your body like an inverted V, achieving a straight line from your hands to your shoulders to the hips. Straight arms and straight legs. As you inhale, pressing downward into your hands and lift outward out of the shoulders. Lift your head and torso back through the line of your body. Lock the kneecaps and pull the thigh muscles up with the back of the legs pulling up and over your buttocks. Feel the stretch through the back of the legs. Your thumb and forefinger pressing into the floor so you can extend up the inner arm, squeezing the elbows inwards, keeping them locked. Breathing in and out of the nose, controlled inhalation and slow exhalation. Shoulder blades and kidneys coming into the back as we open up the chest on the front of the body, while the outside of the shoulders roll around towards the chest. Head soft and neck soft. Keep the heels pushing towards the floor. If your heels don't touch the floor, don't worry, this will come with time. Keep the mind focused on the whole pose. If you let one area go, it will take away the ease of the pose. Breathe and stretch. The dog pose is a recovery pose and will bring energy and lightness into the whole body with the head below the heart. Now slowly walk your feet towards your hands, coming into a standing position. Mountain pose. Stand with your feet hip width apart so the outsides of the feet are almost parallel edged. Press and spread the toes into the floor. Feel the weight of your body distributed evenly throughout your feet, from the toes to the heels. Keep pressing firmly into the floor. Lift the kneecaps up by contracting the front thigh muscles, but not locking the backs of the knees. Pull up with the backs of the thighs and activate the hips and buttocks to level the pelvis. Your hips should be directly over your knees and your knees over your ankles. This gives you a stable foundation, and by positioning the pelvis properly, keeps the spine healthy. Now extend the spine by slowly inhaling, lifting up through the legs as you lift the rib cage, opening the chest and dropping the shoulders down, extending the neck, keeping the jaw and eyes soft. Bring the shoulder blades into the back to support the rib cage. Breathe slowly and softly. Keep your head directly over your shoulders and look at eye level at a point in front of you. When standing in mountain pose, the mind is quiet and the body strong and still, like a mountain. This is a pose you can practice in your daily life. Practicing to stand correctly will have a profound influence on your physical and mental well-being. Shoulder shrug rotation. Continue standing in mountain pose. Inhale as you lift your shoulders to your earlobes, keeping the head still and soft. As you exhale, rotate the shoulders around by pushing up out of the chest, rotating them in a full circle. Now inhale, lifting up, keeping the neck and head soft. Exhale, rolling the shoulders back and squeezing the shoulder blades together. Repeat one more time as you feel this area releasing. Prayer pose. Center yourself in mountain pose and take a few deep breaths here. Breathing down into the abdomen, continue the breathing that you are now familiar with. This next movement will teach you how to push from under the shoulders and out of the lats, the major muscle group of the back, a key movement in a lot of yoga poses. Inhale, raise your arms to shoulder height and stretch them out in opposite directions to each other, twisting the arms from the shoulder and turning your palms upwards. Bring your arms out in front of you, pushing your elbows firmly together and your fingers extending away from you, while focusing on pulling your shoulder blades together. Continue squeezing the elbows in as you bring your palms together, bending at the elbow and taking the forearms to vertical. Keep pressing firmly with the palms and the elbows as you breathe the arms upwards, with each exhale moving slightly higher. This pose is simple but very effective and is a key movement to more advanced poses. Slowly bring your arms to your sides. Arm rotation. Go through your checklist for mountain pose. Feet pressing firmly into the floor, kneecaps lifting up, buttocks tucked under, abdomen extending up, chest open, shoulder blades into the back. Your body is in total alignment from your head to your heels. As you slowly inhale, lift your right arm out in front of you, pushing from under your shoulder. Exhale as you make the widest arc possible, rotating your arm in a full circle behind you. Deep inhalation, repeat the move, reaching right out. This is also an eye stretch, so keep your eyes fixed on your fingertips. Inhale as we repeat one more time on this side. Keep the thighs pulling up, turning in the torso, incorporating a spinal twist. Now inhale as you lift your left arm, breathing slowly. Be aware the shoulder is a ball and socket joint, which needs to be moved in its full range of movement. Yoga increases your energy circulation. By intertwining mind and body through the breath, one can completely relax the body and allow the energy to flow unrestricted. Yoga not only works on the muscles, it also works on the internal organs and skeletal system, keeping them healthy, flexible, strong, aligned and balanced. Triangle pose. Standing in mountain pose, inhale deeply and jump your feet sideways apart, approximately 1 meter, and raise your arms to shoulder height, palms facing down. Keep your arms parallel to the floor. Make sure the outside edges of the feet are parallel to each other. Tighten the buttocks and the legs. Find your stability here for a moment. Now turn your right foot out while keeping your hips to the front and turn your left foot in from 90 to 70 degrees by pivoting on your heel. Ensure your right heel is in line with the instep of the left foot. This is important as it sets the base for this pose. The kneecaps and thighs are pulling up, simultaneously pushing downward through your feet into the floor. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale as you bend to the right, pushing out from the hips through the right arm, taking your right hand to a comfortable position on your leg. Your left arm coming up to straight, moving down as far as possible without turning the hips or the torso. Keep the thighs firm and rolling around towards the buttocks, moving the left hip back and opening the chest. Inhale, extend the neck and spine. Exhale, turn your head to look up at your left hand. Keep your head, your buttocks and your heels in one straight line. Not looking down with your body, keep opening your whole body up. Breathe easy. Press hard into your back leg and come back to upright. Turn your feet back into parallel and steady yourself, taking a revitalizing recovery breath. Now repeat to the other side, turning your left foot out to align with the instep of the right foot. Turn the right foot in slightly. Activate the buttocks and the legs. Hips are straight, shoulders down, head is erect. Breathing is even through the nose. Inhale. Exhale, bend out to the left. Hand coming down to a comfortable spot on your leg. Right arm coming up. Inhale, extend the neck and spine. Exhale, turn your head to look up at your right hand. Triangle pose tones the leg muscles, spinal nerves and abdominal organs. It contributes towards a strong, healthy lower back. Keep breathing softly. Now press into the back leg strongly as you come back to upright, turning your feet in and step back into mountain pose. Tree pose. Align yourself in mountain pose. Continue with your smooth flowing breath. On your next inhale, shift the bulk of your weight onto your left foot. Exhale, bend the right knee and assisting with your hand, place the sole of your right foot as high as possible into the left inner thigh, with toes pointing down. Steady yourself and breathe easy. Now bring your palms together in prayer position. Keeping your eyes focused on a point in front of you will assist your balance. Inhale as you raise your arms overhead, keeping your palms together and stretching upwards through the fingertips. Keep working your right knee back and contracting your buttocks muscles in and down. Feel your abdomen plane and hips facing straight ahead while lifting out of the waist. The tree pose is a balance pose incorporating 3 lines of energy emitting from the center outwards. 1 line proceeds down the straight leg. 1 line extends up the spine and out of the fingertips, and the 3rd moves outward through the bent knee. Now exhale, bring your hands and foot down and center yourself in mountain pose for a moment. Now we will repeat to the other side, taking your weight onto the right leg. Bring your left foot high as possible into the right inner thigh, with your toes pointing down, contracting the legs and the buttocks. Bring your palms together in prayer position, feeling strong and centered. Now push the arms overhead. Keep completely focused on the pose. This pose harnesses the powers of mental concentration while allowing you to calm the mind. It develops balance and stability and strengthens the legs and feet, also increasing flexibility in the hips and the knees. Now exhale, bring your arms and leg down beside you. Well done. Stand in forward bend. Stand in mountain pose in the center of your mat with your hands in prayer position. With an inhale, jump your feet wide apart. Keep the outside of your feet running parallel while lifting your arches, pulling up with the thighs and the tailbone tucked under. Place your hands on your hips and feel the extension up out of the waist. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend at the hips, extend forward, continue lifting out of the hips, keeping your legs strong and your base nice and firm. Looking forward to begin with. Keep the extension on the stomach, which will help keep your back flat, protecting it. Take a few breaths here. Now take your hands to the floor, extending from the lower abdomen to the breastbone and through the spine. Some of you may be on your fingertips. If you can't keep your spine straight, put your hands on your knees and keep slowly working down your legs, working with your body, not against it. Lift your sitting bones to the ceiling. Draw your shoulders down your back so you can extend the neck with ease. Remember to keep the arches high. Breathe and stretch. Breathe and stretch. As you pull the kneecaps up and contract the thighs, turning the knees and thighs inwards towards one another. The buttocks will spread as you do this, allowing you to extend further forward. This pose aids in digestion and is restorative. It frees the rib cage, allowing for improved breathing. It increases flexibility while strengthening and developing the hamstrings. Now slowly come back into a standing position. The warrior. Stand in mountain pose, continuing with your smooth flowing breath. Jump your feet sideways and sweep your arms out to the sides so your ankles are below your wrists. Establish your foundation by pulling your knees and thighs up, tucking your tailbone under, pushing your feet firmly into the floor. Visualize an imaginary line running vertically down the center of your body. Dropping your shoulders. Squeeze your arms and legs away from the center line. Keep an awareness of this line as you turn your right foot out to 90 degrees and your left foot into 70 degrees. Ensure the heel of your front foot aligns with the arch of your back foot, hips facing forward. If your body wants to turn off center, counteract this by pushing simultaneously in opposite directions from the center line. Now inhale, and as you exhale, bend your right leg, pulling up with the outside and inside of the thigh to form a right angle at the knee. Only go as low as you can without turning your hips off center. Ideally, you you would like your knee directly above your ankle, with your leg coming vertically out of the floor. Keep the power flowing through the back leg into the floor. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, turn your head to look over your right arm. Take a few deep breaths through the nose. Now turn your head back into the center, putting the energy into the back leg and coming to upright. Turn your feet into parallel, drop your hands down beside you. Take a slow, deep recovery breath. On your next inhale, raising your arms to shoulder height, we will now repeat to the other side. Exhale, turn your left foot out and your right foot in. Slow, deep breaths as you look for a better understanding of this pose. As you exhale, bend your left leg. Check that your heel is in line with the middle arch of the back foot, knee above the ankle. Buttocks firm, thighs rolling around to the buttocks. Lifting out of the waist, stretching your arms and legs away from the center line. Turn your head and look over your left fingertips and continue with a controlled breathing. If you are finding this challenging, just persist. You will find with each practice you will develop more strength, power and flexibility, which will comfortably allow you to move further into this pose. Now turning your head back into the center, push your weight into the back leg and come back to upright. Bringing your feet into parallel, jump your feet together and bring your arms down for a well-earned rest. Well done. Basic twist. Come into a lying position on your back and stretch your arms out to the side, placing your palms and shoulders firmly onto the floor. Move your shoulder blades under, spread your toes apart. Feel the back and shoulders moulding to the straight lines of the floor. Bend your knees as far as they come towards the chest. Inhale, keeping your knees and ankles together. Exhale, rolling your knees to the right. Focus on keeping your arms pressing outwards and your shoulders pushing firmly into the ground. You may feel or hear your spine lengthening as it extends to the correct alignment. Knees and ankles kept together. Breathe easy. Focus on creating length between the left lower rib and the hip. Now turn your head to look over your left hand.